maybe Pep is trying to find another way to play.
Yeah.
And it's not clicking yet.
Yeah. You need to start putting pressure
Right.
on these title pretenders,
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah.
Arteta's built up, and he's gotten this big push from Arsenal. And what they're showing right now is a lack of succession and progression.
Yep.
Ten Hag just got sacked for winning 2 trophies in a bounce.
Yep.
Right. Now you know him. You play FIFA. he's one of those players.
That's
that-
wicked.
Well, all right. Moving on to the next segment, we have the Premier League roundup for this weekend. An eventful weekend, shocking results.
Shocking.
Shocking. Biggest one out of all of them is Man City versus Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody expected to see Man City coming out dropping 3 massive points.
Huge.
Yes,
Big
sir.
opportunity missed for them, realistically.
Realistically.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love to see it.
Yeah.
Me too. When I saw that, I was so happy. I was like,
Welcome to the Premier League.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Premier League.
Bournemouth, bro.
Yeah.
What a freaking team this
Yeah.
season.
No.
I've told you, teams, other teams specifically, what? That's just Bournemouth, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just Newcastle.
Easy 3 points.
Right?
Yeah.
Look what they did to City.
Yeah.
it was massive
Yeah.
for them, honestly.
Erling Haaland didn't do much. There wasn't much opportunity. Like, it was a weirdly strung together lineup. It was like Kovacic as the
Yeah.
single pivot, Matthias Nunes as a left mid,
Right.
Phil Foden on the right wing, and
Yep.
then Gundo and I forget who the other midfielder was.
Bernardo.
Bernardo.
With Haaland up top.
Haaland.
Strange. I mean, they're
Haaland-
going through a little bit of injury concern.
That's what I was going to touch on.
Yeah.
You think that Rodri miss is a massive
I think it goes
loss.
even past that. Like, your De Bruyne's are out, Ruben
Yes.
Diaz, John Stones.
Didn't
Wow.
De Bruyne make the bench though?
He did, but like, he's not fit. Like,
Right.
he's barely touched grass in
Right.
training, and if you don't want to kill him right away,
Man,
Yes,
I don't know
nah.
what's
You're
up
gonna
with
need him.
Haaland without De Bruyne. That's kind of concerning.
Yeah, man.
Being especially if you're like City fans, seeing Haaland not being Haaland without
Yeah.
De Bruyne, that's kind of worrying,
Bro, every team is going to set up against Man City one way. They're going to set up in a deep defensive low block, and
Yeah.
you're not going to get the best out of Erling Haaland.
That's very true. Like, that goes back to your point. Like, City have been studied for so long now, and the only
Yeah.
thing you really can do to play well against them is just sit back.
He
Yeah.
always seems to break through those
Right.
when they're going against him
Right,
like that.
right.
Somehow, especially when in the beginning of the season, Haaland looked unstoppable.
They're lacking a lot of quality.
Is it
in Man
not
City
free
right now.
flowing anymore? Is it
It's
not as free flowing
No,
anymore?
not at all. Like, their center backs aren't their go-to center backs. You have personnel in the midfield that's all out of whack.
Yeah.
Phil Foden hasn't even barely
Right.
gotten into the
I mean,
groove of things.
don't get me started with Man City center backs and how I think they're frauds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but again,
But-
they're fantastic and they work for their
Yeah.
system, and bringing in
Right.
different people, you're not going to get the same.
Yeah,
level
yeah,
of
but I
output.
keep seeing, like, for example, Garvardio bailing them out every game.
Oh, he's a
Yeah.
and all
player,
that stuff.
man. I
Like,
love
he's a
Garvardio.
beast, right?
He is a great
But besides that, like, where's Akanji, bro? Like, dude, I don't know. I don't think.
Defensively, like, they've been looking very, very
That's what I'm
un-Man
saying.
City-like.
Yeah.
Very,
Right.
very Man City-like.
What I think about it is that maybe Pep is trying to find another way to play.
Yeah.
And it's not clicking yet.
Yeah.
and it's not working out for him. But I feel like they're gonna come out massively. Like,
You think they're going to come
Once-
back
They
into
have
this
to.
into the frame?
They have to.
You can't rule him out.
You know how Pep is. Like, he figures it out.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way or another.
Yeah.
He figures it out with
Yeah.
what he has.
I think that's a testament to him as a coach, as a manager. Like,
Yeah.
he had that style of play and he knew exactly how he wanted to play. But it's like every single season he's tweaking it just a little bit. Whether it's a fullback coming inside,
Right.
now everybody else
Right.
does that.
Yeah.
Or a center back driving into the midfield, now everybody else does that.
Most of the times he's comfortable with doing those changes.
Yeah.
Because he has flexibility with
Exactly.
the players he has.
Right.
Exactly.
But now he's
Struggling.
you got to think about it. Pep Guardiola, we have high standards for him. We put him on a pedestal, but at the end of the day, he's still a manager. He's gonna struggle in the Premier League.
He's going to
Right.
rely on his
There's gonna be
players.
obstacles, and this is one of the points where he's facing obstacles.
Yeah.
like,
Really bad.
just
yeah.
like any other manager. You know what I mean?
You think they spend in January?
I mean, I don't see them. I haven't heard about any targets
Yeah.
from them.
But they move
honestly.
fast, realistically. In transfer
Yeah.
window, like,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of,
And
like,
quiet.
drama. Yeah, they move
And
quickly.
I can't even think of somebody that can be there for it.
I mean, you think about a Rodri replacement, you got like the likes of Zubamendi. There's a few
Yeah,
other
I
guys
was-
that might be able to come in.
Ask, like, in terms of that Kevin De Bruyne absence, you don't think Bernardo's, for example, I think they have really quality players. You don't think Bernardo or even Gundogan can maybe fill in
Right.
those
Different-
shoes?
they're different
and
profiles,
different. Right. They're not going to do exactly what
Yeah.
De Bruyne does. But, like, in terms of creativity, I feel like those
Right.
are pretty creative players.
And I
Yeah.
feel like he should be using Grealish more because we've seen
Yeah.
some glimpses of him this
Where-
season.
I would have liked
Where
to see
is
him in the
Grealish?
middle. I've
Right.
always wanted to see Jack Grealish play. I thought
That's
he
where he
was
was
the De
nasty.
Bruyne,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
replace, like ease him in to replace De Bruyne over time.
Yeah.
Right. I don't
He's
know.
been a flop.
Why hasn't he been playing with Man City? We don't know why.
I'm not
'cause
sure, really.
The international break, we saw
Did
him.
well.
He was hot.
He did well, yeah.
He was playing in the middle. So was he playing as a cam?
I think he was for one of the games, but maybe
Right.
that was I think he did for one game, and it was good for him.
Well, yeah, man. Hopefully, City, man. As long as they're dropping points, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm
you'd
not
be happy
complaining,
with that.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
They're struggling, but
You
you know,
gotta-
not to take away from what Bournemouth did
Yeah.
on the day.
But we gotta remember the first 10 games of the season, and Man City always surprise us.
They do.
After
Yeah.
December. You know,
They
That's
do.
true.
They do. As soon as they start getting some players back, they'll get
they
a
just
little bit of a
need
kick.
one flick and they're up.
The difficult
Right.
thing is like, you know, I'm a manager. How do you motivate a player that's won 4 titles on the bounce to go for the 5th
I
one?
feel like that's even more fuel.
I think, well, like still, like at some point, like you're gonna get complacent.
You're going to get tired.
How, as a manager, do you motivate a big player to keep? And tired is a big part of it.
Tired. I'm telling you, like
2
being
seasons ago-
drained, being mentally drained and physically drained is a big like.
2 seasons ago, they win the treble, play every single possible game out of every single possible game, and then the next season they go relatively far, and you know they haven't bolstered their squad like too much.
Yeah, no.
And they've had people that have left,
Right.
and that they haven't necessarily replaced them personnel wise.
Right, yeah,
They're very
and-
tired. Injuries
and
are showing.
Some of those spine that they relied on, that Walker, that De Bruyne,
They're fading.
It's kind of fading
It's
now.
fading. The
Even
lights going
Ederson,
out.
even Ederson,
Yeah.
like you know.
Yeah, maybe this downtime is kind of something.
Maybe
they can-
something's looming over
they-
them,
they
like
can-
115 charges or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine their downfall is bad.
Wow.
Like imagine it goes really bad.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I can't see that happening, but
Yeah.
maybe this downtime for them could be like a possibility for a bounce back, something to look forward.
Mm-hmm. I mean, nobody else
Right.
around
A
the league
wake-up
is
call. A
taking it
wake-up
by
call.
the.
You know, maybe the
That's what
players,
they. Yeah.
Because Pep playing under him, he's not an easy manager.
No, he's
not
very
gonna be
demanding.
happy. He's not gonna sit around and just
Allow
week in,
this,
week
lose him.
out.
Yeah,
Very,
no.
very demanding.
you
No.
know.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna get the best out of his
I
players.
mean, he's sorry. He's gonna make sure they win before
Right.
this international break. Whoever, I'm not sure who they play next, but he's gonna make sure that it's a performance. I guarantee you
yeah,
that.
I'm expecting the same thing
Yeah.
out of them. They always bounce back.
Yeah.
But
Quickly to touch on Bournemouth, how they won that game was splendid. Really,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
I think
Early
they played beautiful.
doors, they had an opportunity down the left with Milos Kerkesh, Hungarian left back. He's young,
Yeah.
been doing bits like for
yeah,
Bournemouth since last
I've
season.
seen a lot of him because he's good friends with Zabozlai.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen him interact.
He's tricky little guy, you know,
Yeah.
with a very we're lacking. We don't have any left backs at the moment. I would love for us to go out and get him, but just somebody in the league that's slowly putting together a good catalog of performances week in and week out. And it's been a little while since he's been there, but
I mean,
Clivert, he's been a big player
Yeah,
for them.
he
Who is it?
has.
Clivert.
oh yeah.
He's been
He's their
he's
number
been
10,
good.
I think.
yeah,
right?
he's awesome. I love
He
the way
is.
he plays.
I like-
he takes
yeah,
risks. I like
yes.
players taking risks.
For sure.
And he's one of those players. He's not scared to take risks. You
And it-
dribble down the middle,
Yeah.
knowing he will lose the ball.
And it's
Quality.
good risk. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you said, it's good takes. You know, you don't want to be like super greedy about it, but he does it well. He balances it off well. Evan Nilsson.
You called it.
Evan Nilsson, dude, I'm telling you, they have a really good forward line.
Yeah.
They have a
Like
good
they're all
Semenyo.
threatening. Yeah.
Semenyo got
That's the
performance.
difference maker
Yeah.
for Bournemouth this season.
Getting
He's
that
been-
early goal for them was crucial
What a
from
turn!
Semenyo.
What a shot!
Yeah.
He's a beat.
He's
Oh
a
my
winger.
God. Yeah,
he's a
I
winger.
just remembered the
and he
goal.
has
Yeah.
striker instincts.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind
Is
of.
he Colombian?
Who was that?
I can't remember
I
what
don't know.
nationality he is.
Who was the defender against? Because I need to know.
I think it was a kanji.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
No, it was yeah. It was a kanji.
Yeah.
The turn.
The turn. And
Yeah,
the
Milos
shot.
Kerkesh does an unbelievable job getting to that byline, by the way, because he went on a little bit of a mazy run from a little bit deeper,
Yeah, I
takes
saw
it to the line, cuts it back, takes it on
That's
the half
Two,
turn.
two
Yeah.
assists.
Semenyo taking it on the half turn, put it in the back of the net.
That's where
cheeky
most
little
of their
plug.
goals come from. Is
Yeah,
they go
cutbacks.
down line and then hit it in the
Cutback. Same thing for Evan Nielsen later.
those frustrating balls that come from the sides. You know what I mean? To ping them in.
Same thing happens with Evan Nielsen later. Kirkash coming down. He doesn't take it to the byline, but he gets to right where the defensive line is, plays it across the face of goal. Ederson kind of overcommits, and then
he slids and gets to it.
That's how they scored. That's how they scored the goal against Arsenal. It was beautiful.
Exactly.
Like, they wait and they fed the guy on top of the key.
He might be a good FPL pick, actually.
Yeah,
might be worth thinking about. Cheap striker.
Talking about losses in Arsenal, we have another big loss. Arsenal haven't dropping points for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, they're in a rough spot right now.
We have not seen this from Arsenal in a long time.
Yeah.
And little by little, I'm starting to kind of, not trying to be disrespectful, but...
No, let's get disrespectful.
Respectfully losing kind of respect for Arteta's plan.
I think you need to start putting pressure on these title pretenders, realistically.
Yeah.
Arteta's built up, and he's gotten this big push from Arsenal. And what they're showing right now is a lack of succession and progression.
Yep.
Ten Hag just got sacked for winning 2 trophies in a bounce.
Yep.
Right.
Meanwhile, Arteta spent, 800 mil? What is this, like his 6th season?
Yep.
And he doesn't have anything to show for it.
An FA Cup that he won off another
A single game.
team.
Aubameyang won him that FA Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, no. I think it goes to show that now that they're actually getting hit with injuries, right? Like last year we had 38 injuries. You guys had like 36 or something right there next to us. Now they're actually getting...
They're dealing with injuries, but they're not...
Look at what they signed. Look at what the signings they go for in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Last episode, we're here talking about X Factor and somebody like Martinelli tracking back and that being the highlight of the games.
Right.
Why? Well, if you know in football, you think about that Liverpool team, right? They were good, but at some point you need to strike. You have to strike and you have to stake your claim.
Right.
Maybe they've peaked. And the opportunity for them to change it up and add a little bit of extra firepower, add a little bit of that X factor, they missed that opportunity, and now they're really suffering the consequences.
Just their main players they have as of right now. Like we haven't seen Arsenal with Odegaard's absence like that.
No
He's
creativity.
always been available. You know.
Second half, they didn't have a single shot on target.
They have 0 shots.
Zero shots on target in a whole half of football.
Where was Saka?
Where was Saka?
He was shut down.
Shut down. By who? Lewis Hall. Chelsea lad.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a good little player, man. I really do like and appreciate him, genuinely.
We're the biggest team in London.
I think he's not. I saw him playing CDM a lot. Lewis
really,
Hall.
dude. He runs up the line and gets into good positions, like in on the attacking front, really well. But his defensive numbers. He's actually a Newcastle fan. I was really happy to see him go to Newcastle. He's
good
that type of player.
Again, not many left-footed fullbacks out there, and that's another one that's
he's
really
good,
strong
dude.
one.
He's really young. He's like 21, maybe.
Yeah.
22.
A good career move for him too, going to Newcastle.
Yes, sir.
Really.
Another just because I'm trying out Chelsea Academy right now. Livermento.
Oh,
Beast, we were just talking about on their fullbacks.
Yeah,
they're looking like
really
they're now looking like starting Premier League fullbacks.
No, they're quality.
I'm really
dude.
loving it.
I love him. I had him on my FPL. Got me 7 points.
The big thing about Newcastle is like, remember when they were really good, and I can't remember if they finished like top 4 or 5, didn't they? Like 2 seasons ago, they were high up there. Regardless, they were playing Champions League.
They played Champions League one year.
They were 4th, I think, one year, or 4th or 5th or whatever.
It was like
it was the year City won the treble.
It was like
Well, I thought they were second that year.
so
Newcastle.
Sorry.
Oh no, Newcastle. I thought you said Arsenal.
No, Newcastle.
No, for sure. Yeah, Newcastle got top 4 and they got into the Champions League.
They played very an intense style of football.
That's when they got bought out by the Saudi owner.
They played a very intense type of football back then. Like they would hoof the ball up like traditional English football, but the intensity in which the whole entire team would move and create opportunities and overloads defensively to win the ball and then counter quickly, a lot of that was very good.
Newcastle,
and again, burnt out. They got burnt out last season. Very, very poor. A lot of injuries. And now they're trying to slowly bring that back into the fold.
Talking about Newcastle, that team they had was the last season, I think, was pretty strong.
Yeah.
When Almiron was fit, he was performing.
I don't rate him myself.
Yeah, but when he was performing, they had Tonali added to that midfield.
Yeah, that was exciting.
That was pretty nasty.
Yeah, we were like, this is going to be really good.
We were scared of Newcastle. They were a threat.
Yeah.
And I seen Bruno Guimaraes' performances have dropped a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
A little bit.
He's not him.
No.
He's not. I don't think that midfield is super like organized.
No.
Like for example, that's one player I want to touch up on. Joe Ellington. I think he's a specimen.
I think he's one of their best midfield.
Yeah, I think he's one of the
players.
best.
He's a hustler, man.
But he's a little chaotic.
He's chaotic.
So what happens is Bruno Guimaraes is a little bit left back, like he's
Right.
and so
They
I think
kind
that's
of-
why.
they're the same type of player, but I'll say Bruno's more of that dictating midfielder,
he's-
but also defensively.
No, absolutely.
He's definitely way more technical. Joe Ellington,
Yeah,
though, you have to appreciate.
that's
just-
why they
his
brought him
hustle.
to
He's a
Ronaldo.
ground
Yeah.
eater. Like he's doing in
He used to be
duels
a
fighting.
striker.
That's the
Right.
craziest thing to me.
like, dude, I don't know. I really like watching him. Honestly,
Yeah,
He's
I
a
like
good
Joe
striker
Ellington.
too.
He holds that pride again. Like he holds that pride for the team. You know, going into those challenges where the team is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take you."
And then
it's like,
Newcastle fans, St. James's Park, they'll eat that up. They'll back you for that kind of
Yeah,
stuff every
that's
day
what
of the week.
I like him.
That's why they love the Barn guy.
Barnes, yeah.
Barnes, they love
He's another
him.
one that they've been missing,
That talk.
realistically.
I thought he was playing against Arsenal.
Did he
was
play
there,
Harvey
yeah.
Barnes?
I thought it was Willick. I think Willick played on
Willick
that.
did
not
play.
Harvey Barnes. Byrne. What was it called?
Dan Byrne.
Dan Byrne.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
monstrosity. He's like 6'7".
Yeah, and he's hell of a like. He loves getting into challenges.
Yeah.
He does not mind them.
Yeah. Did you guys see that Gordon was playing on the right?
Yeah,
and
I
he was the
saw
one who
it.
ended
He
up getting the
delivered.
assist.
He delivered.
back.
Yeah.
What a beautiful.
He had a
ball.
really good game
For sure.
Yeah, he was really bright. I was happy to see him again.
Yeah.
That was it from honestly the whole game.
It was a terrible
We
game to
saw,
watch.
Like Arsenal was not testing Newcastle.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they relying on set pieces? They need to change that mentality. You
That's
gotta
bad.
score from free play. That's-
Again, though,
bad.
like you look at that team, one, who's going to create your chances and who's going to put them in the back of the net?
right.
You don't have that. I look at
They're
Man
done.
City, I look at
expect-
Liverpool, I even look at Chelsea, and they're like overall levels of chance creating. It's not coming from set pieces. They're creating those opportunities. Arsenal's missing it by a big
No
margin right now.
firepower. No firepower, right? Like they played so nice that first 2 seasons. And you said it best earlier. I think that was really good what you said.
Yeah.
If this season, if it's that first season team that got second,
They would be walking this
they would
league.
be walking this league right now because that's how well they were
Right.
playing, you know? But
Where is
again,
that? Arteta's coming out with 4 center backs, 3 defensive midfielders on the field. That's hilarious.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think
This
he's
is
trying
pretty
everything
football
locked in.
Arsenal.
Guys, Arsenal, exactly. Arsenal are one of the clubs that pride themselves. Like,
Yep.
we win, but it has to be a certain way.
Right.
I'm not, you know?
Yeah.
It's okay to play pragmatic football. Don't get
Right.
me wrong, but you have to win.
Right.
You don't have an opportunity to lose. I see guys online saying Arteta out now. It's actually
Wow.
hilarious.
Dude,
That's crazy.
I mean,
This
dude,
is
it's been
Arsenal.
6 seasons.
This is
I don't
Arsenal
like
Football
to
Club
see
for you.
that.
Too high and too low. You'll never find them in a balanced state, realistically.
I don't know,
I feel like they haven't found the player that can make the difference in the middle because they have Declan Rice and sometimes they look into him to make differences sometimes.
Nah.
Because he did actually have a shot that hit the
Yeah.
post.
Yeah, maybe you should have done better
You know,
there. Yeah.
at the end of the game, and he had another header. But
Yeah.
why are you looking at your CDM to
do
save
that?
you?
It's not
Right.
good enough.
You know what I mean?
They're
And
title pretenders.
We
It's not good
expected
enough.
Havertz to have a way better, like at least we expected more from
He's
him.
not a
this season.
striker. He's not
But
a striker.
He started off really well.
He
this
does.
season.
He can play he can play well there. But if you're to win a title, in
Yeah,
the Prem,
that was the biggest
to
mistake. they made.
de-rain City, you can't
No.
expect Havertz to do that.
No.
There's opportunities in the summer. There's Victor Gyökeres. There's Ivan Toney.
They had Osimhen, right?
Osimhen's there for
Even
the taking.
before that, Vlahovic, when he was killing it,
Yeah, man. Like,
They
there's
just
been
don't-
opportunities
I
for them to
don't
be
they don't want
ruthless.
to win, dude.
They
It's
don't-
not in their
they,
like.
They don't want to waste money on a striker, but they went on and got a midfielder that they. You think that was necessary? That Michael Moreno.
I think that's
signing?
overall, like, if you take what's happened and whatnot out of the picture, yeah, it's good for their cover. But, like, dude, there's, like, crucial points to your team that you need to add for you to go to that next step.
Right.
Because it's been progression. Now we're going backwards.
Yeah.
Arsenal Football Club have moved backwards this
Right,
season,
right.
realistically.
And
in
they were
terms of
playing
their
with a
picture.
different formation. I saw they were playing with like a 4-4-2.
Bro, they've been playing 4-4-2 for a while now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's Tony Pulis
different.
like set pieces trying to be difficult to play against. Deep
This is not the
defensive low
Arsenal
block.
we've
It's
seen.
not good enough.
They're not entertaining anymore.
And I love how the media portray them. I
Right.
absolutely love it because
Right.
2 weeks ago they're putting out posts like, who's the best center back partnership out of John Terry, Ricardo
Oh my
Carvalho,
gosh, bro.
Rio Ferdinand, and Nemanja Vidic, and Gabriel and Saliba.
Nah, they're so
Spot the imposter.
disrespectful, dude. They're so disrespectful.
Spot the imposter.
They're
This
so
is
disrespectful.
it's terrible. Like the media narrative that they're giving to Arsenal right now.
Right.
Teams like Man United would never get it.
Nah, heck no.
Media
I
darlings.
remember
But-
when you guys got second with Mourinho.
It was a joke.
It was never.
Never.
they
We were
never-
criticized for that.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is about the Saliba and Gabriel partnership is something we haven't seen in a long time. That's
From
why
Arsenal.
you know what I mean?
Terrible
that's
center
why
backs over the years.
that's why we're seeing a lot of hype around them. And honestly, to be fair, they are kind of
They're top, bro. They're really
one
good.
of the best. They're the best partnership.
Okay.
They've won nothing at the end of the day.
Exactly.
But they're consistent. They always
They
have
are.
At the
They
end of
have
the day,
been
they have
consistent.
won nothing, and it doesn't look
That's
like they're
true.
going to
They
be
haven't
planning
won
on winning
anything to
something
show
right now.
for it, but
They have
we
played
can see
well.
they have quality.
And that's
Top.
probably one of the biggest strengths of that Arsenal team in the past
Right.
3 years. in
Yeah,
general.
is
So
their back line.
I look at
I'll
Saliba,
say-
great center back. You
Yeah.
should go to Real Madrid
Right.
if you want to win something.
I don't
Or
think
Chelsea.
he's leaving. I think
He wouldn't do that.
that back line actually has been saving Arsenal a lot.
Yeah, for
Without
sure.
that back line, I think they would be in big trouble.
Big
Yeah.
trouble. They've conceded as many goals as we have
Right.
this season, by the way.
Wow, that's
Wow.
crazy.
Look at the narrative.
Wow.
Where's the narrative from the media?
But moving on from that, seeing Arsenal drop points, this is another. That's great for me, honestly, because it's gonna only help us out. Liverpool's come back against Brighton.
Yeah, man.
What a game! You guys tuned in, you saw how it went. Liverpool go down first.
Yeah,
It was kind of scary,
right.
right? And I thought it would be another game like
At Anfield.
At Anfield,
Yeah.
another non-enforced
Type result,
Type
yeah.
result, but I appreciated one thing Brighton did, and this they riled us up.
That you
I was
can't-
waiting for him that moment.
You can't
I
give
was
Anfield
wait-
crowd
yes,
that, bro. You can't.
I was waiting. I was like, please, somebody get into it. Like,
Yeah.
somebody, please, just get a shove in, get it to a little bit.
Dude,
of
my Saturday was going so great, right? I wake up, Arsenal lost 1-0. Right? 10 minutes into the City game, 1-0. They were up. Liverpool go down 1-0. It's great.
Yeah.
I was watching the City
nowhere.
game up until 2-0. I was like, all right, now hate watch Liverpool. And then, damn it, they overturned it.
Yeah.
They overturned it.
Yeah.
What a
Who scored the first one? Remind me.
it was Cody Gakpo.
Cody
but it was-
Gakpo after coming off the bench again.
Yes.
No, he was starting.
Did he?
started his
He was
game.
starting the whole. He played the whole game. This game.
Really? I thought he came off
Luis
the bench.
Diaz was on the bench, and Gakpo wasn't having a good game.
No,
honestly.
not
He was
overall.
not doing well. I did not like what I was seeing from him. But up to that point, and that goal was a fluke. I'll tell you that. For real though,
Darwin
it.
Nunes knew
He
what he
did
was
great,
doing. He knew what he
honestly.
was doing.
that was
You think he pulled out of his header?
What an IQ! That
Yeah,
was
You think he did?
120%.
Yeah,
120%.
he did.
Yeah.
He actually did. Like,
Interesting. He
that was
might have
like,
really.
I love
Because
that
right
part.
away, like, you know, a striker, he's going to be like, yeah, I scored it. I scored it.
Nah.
But no, right away he went over and he was like, nah, that was Cody Gakpo's
Yeah.
goal.
Cody Gakpo meant to cross that.
Oh, yeah, of
Right.
course.
He put a cross
and it would have been a
in,
great cross.
And then I'll give Darwin Nunes credit for just realizing what to do right
Yeah.
under
Right.
that moment. Like,
Yeah.
if I duck, this is gonna mess the goalie up. And
Yeah.
he's going in. You
That's
know?
that striker instinct.
yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I love that. And that got us right back in the game. 2 minutes later, Mo Salah comes down the wing.
What a shot.
What a
Can I
goal.
just say, like, I personally think Mo Salah has cemented himself as the best right winger in the Premier League all time.
Easily.
I think you
without
can
a
look
doubt.
at individual seasons and primes and talk about guys like Ronaldo, but overall and everything that he's done,
That's the
I
thing
mean,
about Mo Salah. Like,
so quality,
he
dude.
seems to like some games. He seems to be like he's kind of ghosting,
Mm-hmm.
but then he'll have his moment,
Right.
do what he needs to. Do. He does what he needs.
You
to
can
do.
see it from a mile away too. Like the ball's coming over the top. The
Yeah.
guy's giving him the overlap. Mo Salah takes it. He beats the defender, and you're like,
What a
this
Mo
is ending
Salah.
up in the back
That
of
was
the net.
a Mo Salah type goal.
Yeah,
you know?
trademark.
trademark goal.
We used to make the comparison of like him to Hazard.
Yeah,
I don't think we can do that anymore.
That's a touchy subject right now. You can't get into that
Yeah.
because now gone.
That might make a good for another episode. Maybe
No,
for
no,
an
yeah,
episode
yeah.
be fun.
But yeah, I love like Mo Salah. I still saw like he was active. He's the type of player he doesn't shut down until the game is over.
He
Right.
grows frustrated when
Yeah.
people like start like getting his number, and then it's in his mind he's just looking for solutions.
Right.
Am I gonna be a creator? Am I gonna dribble? Am I
He
gonna
still
shoot? What
goes
is it
at
gonna
the
be?
defenders. Like,
Yeah.
as if like what I've seen from him this season that I didn't see a lot last
Yeah.
season, is he actually like I thought that dribbling Mo Salah was done with,
Right.
You know, but now he's using his speed again. He's using his dribble, like he dribbles because a lot of times in the Premier League, knowing you're a dribbling winger and you're gonna take
Right.
advantage of your
You'll
space,
get doubled up.
they take that away from you. But it doesn't seem like the case with Mo Salah. He still
Yeah.
has that.
I heard a really good story. I think it might be fun for me to share with you. But I think it was Firmino was talking about him, Mane, and Salah.
Right.
And he's like, you'd be very surprised. Mane and Salah really didn't like each other that much.
No, they didn't.
Like in
I
the
know
training
that.
ground in the games, but most of it was driven like, you know, Senegal versus Egypt, but also the rivalry. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they both really, and that, I guess that motivated them, and that's
They
when we
were
saw the best out of them.
the best two African players in the world at
Yeah.
that moment, and they were competing in the same
In the same team.
Yeah, but it was funny because I would say it was a healthy competition.
Absolutely.
You know?
They weren't like mean or disrespectful or
No.
anything like that to one
Sometimes
another.
they would get frustrated. Mane would get frustrated when Mo Salah didn't pass.
That's
you
good
know?
for your culture overall.
But at the end of the day,
Fighting that
honestly, they were battling each other. They were pushing each other.
Big
'cause
time.
I remember I saw like an interview with them a long time ago, and they would ask him, so who's faster, Mo Salah or Mane?
Yeah.
They were sitting right next to each other, and then they're writing on the board, me. They both saying me.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Competitive, man. You have to
Yeah,
be
I
at
love
the
the
top level. You
competitiveness.
have to.
That's
There's
good
no
stuff.
room for nice people there.
One thing that I liked from Slot, what he did is this game is he made a weird change and it shifted the game. He took out Zabozlai, which he was
Didn't think he was having a good game.
he was having a bad performance.
Right.
Honestly, he put Luis Diaz in the spot. He put him at Luis
Was
Diaz
he
at
playing
cam.
10?
Yeah, he put him at cam just to cause havoc because
Right.
he's that type of player.
Yeah.
You know, and he got what he needed to get out of him. Honestly,
Yeah.
and I love that. And he put
It's good. I
Curtis
feel like every
Jones
week
in.
we're coming on here and like it's like Slots figuring out something new, some
Something
new
different.
tweak to get it over the line
and
sometimes.
I love that.
Like,
Yeah,
maybe
and-
we wrote this manager off like too early and we
Right.
didn't respect
Right.
him enough for
Not
what
at
he had
all.
done. But man, I feel like every week we're coming on here and he's doing some new tactical, innovative little tweak that's getting him over the line.
and
got-
I'm-
I was gonna say you guys seem like the most serious in terms
Right.
of the.
we're
title.
getting comfortable with that. We're gonna have some hard fixtures there soon. We're playing Bayern Leverkusen in the Champions League. And
That's
then-
a good one.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we're going against Aston Villa, but
Nice.
they're coming off a loss though, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But Slot, I like him. They asked him a question this last week. They said they asked him. They said like, how do you go upon your tactics? Like, what do you think? How do you manage to do your how is it Slot? Where he's like people think 99% of the time that I'm a manager and I'm just thinking about tactics, how to play better.
Nah.
But my main goal is how can I get more energy out of my players
Yes.
individually.
Absolutely.
He's like, I'm not thinking about tactics. I have a team with me that can help me with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm always looking for a way to get more energy and more out of the player.
Yeah.
And I think
Being
this
a manager, honestly, I always say it, a manager's job is overrated a lot of the times.
really
Because at the end of the day, the players are the guys that are on the field winning for the manager.
Making the difference.
What is the responsibility of the manager? Squeeze every single bit of output out of you as an individual. Any and everything. Because we think about these head coaches as guys that are on the training ground laying out codes and doing. Some people are like that. Pep Guardiola is a coach that's very, very hands-on.
Right.
Ten Hag was. Maresca is now for you guys. But more often than not, the manager's sitting back and it's the assistant coaches that are running sessions.
They're
and
there
it's,
for a reason.
they come in for those tactical tweaks, the man management aspect of things,
Right.
understanding what the football club means and instilling it within you as a
Yeah.
player. That's where managers make their
Right.
money, and that's why they get paid the big
Right.
bucks to do what they do.
I would also say it's also about like putting them in the right places.
Absolutely,
Like,
you have
in,
to have
in order
that.
to
Like,
do that,
yeah.
you have to put.
You
them in
have
the
to
right
have the
places.
tactical IQ.
That's the
You have
thing
to.
I'm most impressed with
Right.
from him this season.
and another thing that we can say that's like kind of like an evidence that he's actually doing that is Trent's performances recently.
Right.
We're just going against Matoma, one of the best one-on-one dribbles in the Premier League.
Yeah,
You would expect
turn them inside out before.
Yeah, you'd expect Trent to get rinsed, but Trent he was the best defensive player for Liverpool that game against Brighton.
Wow.
It looks like he's playing for that Real Madrid
He had-
contract.
Yeah, he had 90% recoveries. He had 8 out of 9. He only
impressive.
got dribble past like 3 times.
You can tell that like all the stick that he's gotten, some of it is stuck, and he's kind of been.
But
like,
I
"All right,
think
let me
it's
solidify
Slot
this."
is just he's getting that out of him, that defensive side. That-
Right.
'cause
Right.
Klopp, I feel like he tried with him a lot, and he was trying to be more defensive.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I feel like
I think it was a
Slot-
personal decision for Trent more than it was a
really.
managerial one,
I feel like
probably.
the just Slot saying like getting the best out of his players, and he's getting that out of Trent.
Yeah,
I don't know, like that seems
Well,
to
he's
me
not-
that's
he's
something
not-
promising. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, with Club, I would say like he spammed Arnold in the attack.
Right,
you know?
he did.
Whereas like when I look at this Liverpool team, yeah, Trent's involved for sure. He's a big part of the attacking phase, but it's a lot more free flowing.
Right.
You know, like you see Nunes' runs he was making during the game.
But still, Trent is involved a lot.
No, for sure. But he's not like he's
It's
not
not the Trent that we've
super
seen.
committing up there. Like he's
No.
not super committing up there. He's defensively minded.
They've managed his distances with regards to recovery is probably what
Right.
it is,
That's
so
smart.
that it makes it
But
easier.
I still see him getting in the middle sometimes.
'Cause
So yeah, he'll pick it up. He'll
A
pick it
lot
up
of
there.
the time that I saw him get rinsed really bad, you know, when it was
He's
out in memes and
yeah,
stuff,
out
it's
of
him
position.
being super out of position and
that's
him
true.
like
Recovering
recovering
poorly.
and it's bad.
Poorly, really
like,
bad.
Yeah, you can tell he
Passenger.
can't hectically
You know-
defend.
yeah, you know,
he's not
you're
that
a
sort of
defender,
player.
G, you know?
Yeah,
You know that.
Yeah,
It's always better for you to be on your toes before the other player.
Yeah.
It's always, you know, you're gonna get beat when you're running back on defense, then
Yes.
facing the defender when the attacking
it's
player.
a nightmare. You
when-
know yourself.
yeah,
you're
the attacking
you're
player
like,
is
oh my
ahead of
god,
you.
yeah,
He's way ahead of you.
Yeah, you're literally the whole time you're just like, oh my god,
Yeah,
how
he
do I
steps
get
ahead of you. So
Yeah.
by the time you recover, turn to him, he's already cutting it.
Exactly. He's already thought of how to beat you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Can I ask what's the contract situation looking like with Trent, Salah,
that's what I was gonna touch
Van
up on.
Dijk?
I wanted to ask about
So,
Salah.
right,
so
yeah.
I was gonna so Mo Salah after the game, he did something really sketchy to me in a way.
Oh.
Again? What did he do?
So he went on social media and posted it's being a championship club or something. It's always this team is where it belongs. We deserve that number one spot. That's where this team.
I saw that actually, yeah.
And then what tricked us was at the end. It was like I'll always remember how it feels scoring at Anfield.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was
He's
like,
throwing little hints in there, maybe.
maybe he's trying to squeeze out a contract.
Maybe he is.
But then that's rallying up the fans. Like, they're questioning a lot. Like,
I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like if I'm in his position, like this is gonna be the last big contract. Maybe Liverpool have sat down with him and offered him a 1 or 2 year extension. Maybe he wants that 3 year extension.
maybe there's something in there that we don't know.
Absolutely.
Because why would a player come out and say that? Like, you don't think the club discusses contracts?
But yeah, but then like
behind
a
the
player
scenes before they let it out.
of course, but like a player of Mo Salah's like pedigree,
Stature.
anything he says is gonna be on the news. So
Yeah.
now you come and sit down with a little bit more pressure to apply
Right.
to get the contract you want.
Yes.
This is his last big payday.
Yeah.
Are you gonna stay at Liverpool? Are you gonna go to another big team? Or are you gonna go and be the face of a Saudi league or somewhere?
Right.
Realistically,
I don't
Right.
see him do.
I think he should
Salah
stay.
wants-
I think
Yeah,
he
I don't
should
think
stay at
he's looking
Liverpool.
to go to Saudi. That's not even. I think
He can go
throwing
after
out-
2 or 3 years to
Yeah,
Saudi.
he's
It's
throwing it out
fine.
there that he wants to stay in the top.
if he had to leave, where would you feel Mo Salah would fit?
like,
world
talking
football?
about Europe.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's hard to think about
That's
for
The
you.
thing
tough.
is,
That's really
I
tough.
do not see him in another Premier League team.
No.
Uh,
Nah,
Nah,
there's
he
no
wouldn't
way.
do that. He
The
wouldn't.
only
Nah.
thing that comes to mind, it can't be Madrid.
No.
Can't really be Barca.
No.
The only thing that comes to mind is maybe Bayern.
Right. That's
But-
Maybe for
yeah,
real.
but
Maybe an Italian
But didn't
team.
they just get Olise?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know?
but still.
maybe
They
an
have,
Italian
they
team.
get big wingers all the time, but he's not.
I don't know if there's a lot of options
Salah's the
out there
best
for him.
winger. Like Salah's the best winger.
Right.
Like,
But he
you
is
know?
on the decline, and that's what you're going to be paying for. So it's
But
a
dude,
risk for
his-
any club.
But it seems like he's adjusting very
No,
well.
I hear it. But if I'm a Juventus, for example, and I want to get back into where I used to be,
Right.
and I'm looking at Mo Salah, that's a huge risk for me.
Right.
What is he, 32?
Yeah.
32-year-old. He's still good, but the decline is going to
32-year-old,
come.
but he's in the top of the league in contributions.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I
not taking
think
anything away from
that's
him.
what I was
that's
gonna
I'm
say.
saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it would be I wouldn't look at it as a risk factor.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Terms.
If he's in a big team that's challenging, you're gonna get the best out of
Right.
Salah. If he's in a, I don't know how Juve actually are doing.
They're on
But
the
it-
up, like coming back into the
yeah,
fold. Thiago
yeah,
Motta's
but
been
they're not
playing
challenging for
well.
title yet. Or,
Well, like
I know.
they're in there.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I
So,
would
but
say
if he
it's-
goes to a team that's not truly challenging,
Yeah.
I think that's when you're gonna see his decline go back.
Yeah.
Not a lot of clubs will probably be able to afford him either.
I could
Like,
see
Bayern's
PSG.
maybe a decent shout.
Honestly, I could see him at
maybe,
PSG.
maybe, yeah.
PSG would be
That would
fine.
be-
Potentially with the
fine.
Qatar, a whole
Right.
That would be.
ownership.
That's
face of
another
Qatar.
team. Yeah.
But honestly, hopefully, we'll see more of Mo Salah. I would be so sad to see Mo Salah leave my club.
Yeah.
That
Mm-hmm.
would take.
I'd be grateful. I'd be happy if
I
you
mean,
left.
Of course, you would be, but watching Liverpool
Yeah.
is not gonna be the same.
No,
anymore.
it's gonna hit you hard. It's gonna
be annoying.
when Hazard left for me,
Right.
I was like, wow, I didn't expect it to feel like this.
Mm.
And like just in general, like even when you see things like how he left the group chat of the players,
Dang.
like, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
For me, it was when Martial left. I'm just kidding.
What are you talking
Tony
about?
Marshall, he came
Honestly,
for France.
That should probably take
The
us
biggest
into
what if player. But yeah, I feel like Liverpool are starting to lose their big names, Van Dijk,
Yeah, a few of
Alisson.
them, yeah.
And I don't know about Trent going to Madrid. That's been a really, really
It's gonna happen, bro. I think it's gonna happen.
sus topic in a way, because talking about Bellingham as his best friend, like this guy. This guy is going to be the face of the club soon. If not, he already is.
Right.
For him, I think it's like, let's think about it from his perspective, because he's been at Liverpool since he was really young, and he's already won big honors. If he's at Liverpool, I guess he's judging to see, like, can we compete? Can we go back to going into that? Can we tap into that potential I see? And that's going to be a lot of what he's going to be Liverpool in terms of cementing his own.
Maybe this is the last dance.
Could be.
And you go 120% in. And you see good out of it.
Liverpool 2.0 is in
I think
turnover.
this Liverpool team, dude, I'm telling you, from the first 2-3 games, I'm like,
Yeah,
they're in it. They're in it. Yeah, they're locked in.
I need to see you guys play City. I think that'll be a
That
big
would be a
one.
fun game.
Right
to
now, I
watch.
think-
I would love to.
The only dude, you guys need to believe though. I think you kind of do, like, but like truly, like,
The thing
because
is-
then you'll tap into that like smash mentality
Right.
that you guys have.
I've seen like the manager. He has won the hearts of the fans, but it's not that.
It's not the charisma in the Jurgen
No,
Klopp
It's not the
team,
charisma.
It's not
yeah.
there, but I feel like it slowly is kicking in.
Yeah,
You know,
the fans have to believe that you can.
this guy is
has
more
to
of like a
rile up.
serious business guy.
Right.
I'm here to do my business.
That
I like it. I like it.
One thing that's come out with regards to Ten Hag is like the way in which he communicates. Overall, Dutch as a language is very direct and firm.
Right.
So like think about if you're a Dutch person and you're translating to English, overall your demeanor is a lot more stern
Right.
and authoritative.
But he's
Right.
friendly with the
He
players.
is, absolutely.
He's like he's not that old. You know what I mean?
But he's like a
45.
serious guy, like you
He
kind of
is,
said, like
he's a
business.
serious guy,
I'm
but
here and I'm working.
But he is super nice to his players,
Of
because
course.
that's kind of like, let's say like the likes of Hansi Flick going into Barcelona. He went in with a big demeanor, like, yeah, I'm here. You guys need to listen to me.
Yeah.
Where Slot is like, he was trying to, he wasn't like,
He recognized
He was-
what he was walking
yeah,
into.
he
wasn't
read the
trying
room
to fill
very
the
well.
shoes.
he knew there was like, in a way, there's nobody bigger than the club.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he felt that these players are big stars. At the end of the day, I come from a lower team, and I'm trying to gain the trust of
You
these
have to earn their
players.
respect.
You know what I
You
mean?
have to.
Yeah.
You have to earn their respect.
So he didn't come in with a demanding demeanor at all.
Right.
Like,
He did well to read the room, considering
He was-
like
yeah,
what Klopp left him. Like you guys didn't do a lot of business this summer. I
Not
thought a
at
lot of
all.
your business done was last summer, where you
Right.
get your McAllisters and all the other guys that you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
signed. But him coming in, understanding, reading the room, noticing that lack of Jurgen Klopp type figure, and that maybe you can't right away live up to that. It's that that slow build process with
Right.
regards to the players and getting their trust and their
but I
respect.
respect it, honestly.
It's
He's
good.
doing really well.
You can't
He's one of the
be
best-
upset.
He's broken the record for the best ever start
For Liverpool, yeah.
For Liverpool as a manager.
You guys
Yeah.
get into like December time where it gets thick and heavy with regards
That's
to
when we go
fixtures, and
into
you're still
trouble.
in and around first.
Yeah.
I think
That's
you
how
do. I
you'll
think,
know by
I
then.
think you do, honestly. Not many teams, and this is a flex, right, from Chelsea. Not many teams can have a first-time manager come in and challenge and win the title.
No,
It's hard.
I
It's
think
hard.
you guys can do that.
Yeah.
I think
I
he
see
ha-
it. I see
you guys have it
glimpses
in
of
you.
it.
You're a little lucky.
Let me just say it this way: Arsenal wishes they could do that.
Yeah.
Wishes they could do that.
Yeah, the setup for you guys has been incredibly lucky. Like City being terrible.
Right.
But it's just like
Arsenal
also
not going
but also
capitulate.
like
You
the
gotta take
culture
it-
and mentality of
right.
the club. Like you guys are
We didn't have-
ruthless when
we
you
didn't
win.
have
You're
it
ready.
easy.
You're waiting in the wings and you're ready and
right.
you've set it up. So now it's like, let's strike while the iron is hot.
Right.
We did have an easy start though. We didn't play any
For
top
sure.
10 Premier League teams.
And it's going to come thick and fast.
You
very,
can
very
only
quickly.
play what's in front of you.
And
Absolutely.
I've seen a lot of people saying that Liverpool frauds. They haven't played any big team, and they're
Can't
out
say
here.
that. I mean, you play what you play.
If you have
Yeah,
haters,
it's-
you're doing the right thing.
But still, because the fans are like hyping the team up. We're
That's
title
good though. From the
contenders.
fans' perspective, that's okay. Don't
Yeah.
let it come into your don't get giddy now.
Right.
You don't want
No.
your players feeling giddy. The
No.
fans, it's okay. They're fans. And that only pushes you and helps you later and deep into games. But
That's why-
last season, maybe your players got a little giddy, right? And then the injuries
Right.
started coming thick and fast and it derailed for you.
That's what I'm scared of this season. But
Yeah.
seems like Slot, he does not rotate that much. But this game, I saw him using a lot of players he hasn't used. Like
Right.
he used Endo, and I loved him. He
Saw
used
that, yeah.
Gomez. They were big.
Gomez actually came into the game and I thought adapted very quickly and
he
very
almost
well
scored his
for.
first goal, but defensively he was a rock.
All right,
honestly.
yeah.
And Joe Gomez still hasn't scored his senior goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wild.
Like almost 300.
The day he does, he's gonna celebrate so hard.
Yeah,
It's
and
gonna
he
be
almost
crazy.
did. But he's great performance from the back. Overall, great game. Love seeing the resilient side of Liverpool that sometimes we doubt, but they always come and prove us why they're Liverpool and why they play at
Culture has
Anfield.
been really good for the last 10
And Mo
years. I would
Salah,
say.
man, he gets so downplayed, and every week I feel like every week he has to come and prove himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just that type of player.
Yeah.
He's just that type of player.
Last few weeks, I've been eating it in FPL because I've been captaining Holland and not captaining Salah.
Dude.
I think Salah's been like one of the greatest FPL assets of
I was
all
gonna
time.
say, like, I missed out on him. I feel like last season and the season before
Every
that.
season.
And this
Every
season. Like,
Yeah.
it's
You
just
can't
like
just
I
keep
can't doubt him anymore.
I remember you would get
I
really,
can't doubt
really
him
mad
anymore.
because you would want Mo Salah and there was no point in you getting Mo Salah because I already had him.
Right.
Week in and week out, I
Yeah.
would captain him and you
Yep.
would kill it for
That's
him. bro.
probably why he's not in my team.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's honestly one of the only players left in the world of football at this moment that shows us it gives us those Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar type players
yeah.
still on your team.
X
you know?
Factor.
Right.
You know what I mean? He
Every
has
week.
that. He has that in his bag, and is not dropped off. You know what I mean? His performances.
Yeah.
Like who else can you think of a player like Mo Salah or anybody
Right.
that's week in week out he's in there for his team.
He is
and he's a
in-
difference maker.
You can look back in 5 to 10 years' time at Mo Salah's career and be like, damn, maybe without a Messi and Ronaldo, he could challenge for a Ballon d'Or.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
that's the
Especially
level
that's-
he's
His
been at.
output has been insane. I saw a stat on Twitter the other day, and it was like 162 home games or something, 162 home goals.
Yeah,
That's
I think he's
wild,
also entered the top 10 for the all-time goal scorers.
Yeah,
he's
he's
like
about-
12 to
Oh,
15
yeah.
goals off
Yeah.
of Henri.
He's 11
That's
goals
ins-
off of
yeah,
Henry. 10
that's
goals
insane.
now.
I
Yeah.
hope he breaks that this season.
Yeah.
I hope he breaks that.
Yeah,
He could have scored 2 goals against Brighton because he did have a chance. They did get him in. He got in the 1-on-1. He tried to chip the keeper, but that did not go.
yeah.
I was because he always scores at least 2 goals on Brighton.
He likes Brighton. He likes playing against
Yeah.
Brighton.
So, all right. So, moving on from the Liverpool game, we go and talk. Leicester ties Ipswich on the last minute in extra
Yeah.
time. Jordan Ayew coming in.
That's
Jordan
where he went to.
Ayew.
That's where he went to.
Leaving Crystal Palace, going to Leicester, coming
Right.
on as a super sub, getting a last minute tie goal.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
I seen Leicester. They got out of the relegation battle.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting. I think they're 3 stands above the relegation now.
Yeah, probably on goal difference.
But
and
that's
minimum
probably
points.
because the performances have been really bad from the bottom teams.
You're right, the bottom 3.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think it's Everton just got
Right.
one of them got their first win. Southampton
got their first
Southampton
win.
has been
It's,
atrocious.
right now, it's Ipswich, Southampton,
And
the
Wolves in bottom
Oh my
place right
God.
now.
bottom place right now. We're gonna talk about
That's
that.
crazy because considering Ipswich have 5 wins currently. Is that correct? Oh, actually, no.
No,
Ipswich haven't won a game.
Haven't won a game.
Wolves haven't won a game
Haven't-
either.
They're the only 2 teams that haven't won a game.
Very
That's crazy.
interesting.
Another team we're gonna talk about, Nottingham Forest. What a team!
Yeah. they're
Title
going-
charge? Question mark.
They're third in the table.
Yeah.
This is their 3rd win on the bounce, and they haven't done this in decades.
They're
Yeah.
moving strong this season.
Nuno, difference
Provided
maker?
challenges for both of you guys at least. Too,
Right.
playing
So
against
we
big
were looking
teams.
back at it, I was like, Nottingham Forest beating us at Anfield, but now it was making sense.
They're a dangerous side.
They're dangerous.
They're
side.
Defensively
side.
very solid. Only lost one
Defensively
game.
very solid.
Only
That's-
one game they've lost.
I love their break, dude. That's what it is. That Elanga, Cho.
Check this. Out of the top 6, Liverpool have conceded the least at 6 goals, and Nottingham Forest have only conceded 7.
Wow.
Defensively, very
They are
strong.
sound.
That's
Tight.
great.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember who their coach is, but he's coming.
Nuno.
It's Nuno.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nuno.
I've
difference
always
maker.
liked Nuno.
Yeah,
his
he
move
was-
to Spurs really derailed his career, but
Yeah.
when he was at
Yeah.
Wolves, top guy.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a great- he
That's
was
the
great
only
at
job
Wolves.
that he's ever been really bad at. Honestly,
Spurs.
everything else he's been very sound.
Blame the football coach.
No,
don't
no,
blame,
no, nah,
don't blame
he's
the
been very
coach.
sound. I was gonna say one of the defenders, Ola,
Oh yeah.
Chelsea lad as well. He's
He got
doing well.
He scored a 3rd goal today.
You guys see his
what a
post match
goal.
interview? He was drinking like some juice, and he was like, "Dude, I was knackered. I was tired, and I just hit it."
Yeah.
Guess what? He ended up being the third option on my bench FPL. Ended up getting 12 points.
Wow.
Kept a clean sheet and scored a goal.
Scored a goal upper 90.
So, yeah.
What a goal.
Cobham. That's
Yeah.
Cobham.
Another player from
Chelsea player?
Chelsea lad.
Oh, wow, I
So
didn't
he
know
was
that.
he was third string to Reece James, and he was like second string to Terry Lamptey.
Good for him going out to get
obviously-
good playing time.
Yeah, obviously couldn't
Yeah.
really break into. Cho also scored.
Right.
Anytime I see anything from Forest, I literally just go to check for Cho, and I was happy to
Yeah.
see that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But Chris Wood, what a man. He's been on fire this season. I've heard people like
They make jokes about him.
not jokes, but they listen like he would score more goals
A
at
better
Man
team.
City
Oh man, I
more
don't
than
know about that.
Holland. And I kind of see it. I'm like, wait, why couldn't he?
I miss the Premier League where like even the garbage team had like amazing number
Right.
nines,
Right.
units,
Yeah.
like productivity.
I mean,
You could get relegated with a striker that scores 15 goals back in the day.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But
miss
this
that.
Chris Wood form, I don't know if it's just he's having a spill, but he's top 3 in
He's
goals.
a good player. I think he's a
good
great player.
finisher.
Well, I mean, where did he come from?
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Right. but
Newcastle
before
bid them.
that-
They hated him.
Yeah.
So he's always been at Newcastle.
I think he was at Newcastle for a while. and
But
then
then he was playing in the championship before he went
That's
to
what I'm
Nottingham
thinking. I
Forest.
feel like
Did
he
he
played.
really?
I think
like,
so, yeah.
I feel like he
Maybe.
played for a lower club,
Yeah, he did.
and he did really well, and then he went back up to the
right.
But he's been in great form.
He's my FPL
Loving
striker. 12 points every week.
Nice. Colin Hudson-Odoi has been
Yes,
a great
sir.
player. He
Yeah.
scored did he score a goal? Or?
I think he scored a goal.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a deflection.
I honestly didn't catch the game, but yeah.
But yeah, what a team they have been. Nottingham Forest.
Yep,
Big
shout
ups
out to them.
Southampton
top 3 now.
Yeah, they're
Crazy.
top 3. Southampton get their first win this season against Everton, a struggling Everton.
Yeah. They're
struggling.
They're
finding it very difficult.
Southampton, they haven't showed us promises honestly this season
Not
in
at
the Premier
all.
League.
It's been really bad.
They've been really
It's
bad.
naive, man. I don't understand why clubs come from the championship playing this expressive, expansive football. They come up and they're trying to do the same thing against guys like Man City.
Right, but they
Bro, just play 4-4-2, dash it into the channel, fight for some balls, and
Yeah.
that's the best way you'll end
sometimes
up
the
making
manager
something
have
of
to
it.
play that way to keep their jobs. You don't know what they have to follow at the end of the day.
No, I
don't
get
know.
it. No, for sure. But again,
They
like
have to
maybe
add some
Southampton,
flavor.
maybe Southampton come into the season and only set themselves up to go back to this championship, rebuild again, and then just try to come back up right away. Because a lot of teams, when they come in and they can't compete, they're like, maybe we can stay in, or maybe we just set up for next season and then we just can come right back up.
Right.
That Premier League money that those clubs get is huge.
Right.
You get more money finishing in the 17th place of the Premier League than you would in a Champions League final. Believe it or not, ridiculous,
insane.
ridiculous.
Don't you get like 100 million for just staying in the Premier League?
I think it's huge,
That's
insane
insane.
amount of money.
That's a Mudryk right there.
That's a whole Mikhailo Mudryk.
That's a whole Caicedo.
Not
right
quite an Enzo Fernandez. Yo, what's going on with Enzo Fernandez? Where is this 120 million
there.
pounds?
It's what we talked about. The Lavia, Caicedo. I mean, honestly, I think he came into the game today and did really well.
Yeah.
He kind of gave. I wanted Lavia off just because he's too reserved, and you could see maybe he's not ready for a full match of football. But yeah, no, Enzo came on. I think he did really well.
Yeah.
Kind of gave us that movement of the ball a little quicker. All this
120 million
stuff.
pound super
He's
sub.
a great player. He's a great player.
He's
He's a great player.
You should be getting more.
You're
scrutiny from
lucky
the
that
media.
he's in a trash Chelsea side. I'll tell you that.
I thought you guys were good.
Just wait.
What happened?
Now we're getting good. We're getting
now
good.
now
We're
you're getting good.
I didn't say last season we were good.
No. This season you've been moving a
Talking
little
about
mad.
London team, Spurs bounced back from a loss to Crystal Palace, another
Yeah.
London team.
Aston Villa.
No,
Spurs play Aston Villa.
No, I'm saying they bounced back from
Oh,
a loss
my
from
fault.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
with a 4-1
Yeah.
win over a strong Aston Villa side.
Uh-huh.
That's where they're like top 5, top 6,
Yeah,
right?
they're
definitely up
they're
there.
not as good as they used to be.
But they're still in there, you know.
They're sixth
And
place right now.
This is the thing with Spurs. They're so unpredictable.
You don't know what you're gonna get.
You
Flip a coin,
Right.
really flip a coin.
They have the performances like this, and they will like shock you. Like, all right, they're onto something.
Right.
Yeah.
And they'll come out next week losing to like a bottom 10 team.
That's the only thing you can ever guarantee from Spurs is a bottle
They're a
dog.
tricky team, but I've been liking the way they play with
Yeah.
And just done well
They
to come in.
they
and
play
implement.
nice football.
Yeah,
They
They
play nice
do,
football.
and you know,
Stubborn though. Again,
Yeah,
stubborn. I think there's
stubborn.
opportunities for them to
They
change
don't
tactically.
have a consistent midfield.
No.
Every game, I see them changing it.
Yeah, no, and that's
They
a
took
lot of
Madison. Madison's been out of the starting lineup for the past few games.
the injuries. It's like people that can't stay
He's
fit week
not
in
even
week
injured.
out. It's just fitness. Like
He's just fully fit.
He's always been a player that he doesn't
In
play
the
week
past
in week
couple
in
of
week
games,
out.
Ange's been making some like weird substitutions where they help him out.
I think he's feeling pressure, just based off his post match
He
interviews.
took Son out 55 minutes into that
Yeah.
second half, and
Yeah.
Son was his most productive
I
player.
don't know why you don't play
He got him.
Heung-min.
He got him an assist.
Why doesn't he play him up top?
I don't
Heung-min
know.
Son last season was
trying to-
killing it as a
He's
striker.
trying
got
to make
Solanke.
Solanke.
But
Solanke,
they
that's
do
what I'm
have
saying.
He had a-
Solanke,
he had
that's
a
right,
game.
yeah.
He
Just
had a
like
game.
that game
He's done well too, by the way.
he took out against West Ham. He took out Madison. Even though he got the assist, he took out Madison second half, and they just went on a crazy run, scored like 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah.
And this game, he took out Son 55 minutes in, 15 minutes into the second half,
Right.
and that whole game changed.
Yeah.
It completely changed, and they started scoring.
Did Villa score first? I thought they scored
They
first.
did.
Morgan Rogers, right?
Rogers
did the Cole
scored
Palmer celebration?
Yeah, he did. I saw that. Is that his first goal in the Premier League this season? Right?
Maybe. Another player that was on
I
that
think
field
so.
bench.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Spurs, and then Madison did come on towards the end of the game because
Scored a free kick.
he scored a free kick,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was pretty nice. I saw that free kick, and I saw Richarlison coming for Human Son.
I forgot about his existence, man.
Yeah, and
Richarlison.
he was dishing up Solanke.
Yeah.
And Solanke ended up scoring 2 goals, his first brace with Spurs in the
Yeah.
Premier League.
Mhm.
They're seeing improvement.
They're starting to get like the feel that starting or that lineup, that front line. They're starting to get a real good feel for each other.
Right.
Now Solanke is surrounded by better players. Respectfully with Bournemouth, he didn't quite have that.
Yeah.
But he
No.
balled out.
He did.
Now you got a chief chance creator and somebody like Jimmy Madison creating those opportunities for him, and he's slowly
I feel like,
becoming a
with-
lot better.
With the Spurs, they have creative midfielders,
Yeah.
but they're not those type of midfielders.
I hear it.
Bissouma, he's this kind of like a CDM type
I
player.
hear it for
Right.
sure.
With
He,
Sarr,
he thrives on like
Right.
transitions and all
and
that
they
stuff.
create chances. They're a big impact on their attacking.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
Sarr. He's a defensive midfielder, and he contributes
Big
to the
time.
attack. You know,
Yeah,
Right.
they're strong down the middle, and a big part of that is their fullbacks.
right.
Some teams
Toro.
are like, all right, both fullbacks overlap. All right, no, never mind. Actually, we'll have one tuck and other overlap. These guys like both of them
They
tuck.
both talk.
And they make real deep underlapping runs, and it creates havoc down the center of the pitch.
That's actually
That's
pretty
one
dope.
thing I don't like about them though,
Hmm.
is they try to play in that box way too much. It's
I
like
agree.
they want to get a tap in, like a
Right.
perfect goal.
I
Pass
hear
the
it.
ball into the
And they
net.
pass the ball into the net. I
Yeah.
see Ange get stuck.
Stubborn.
He gets stuck a lot. In
He's
tough
stubborn.
games.
He's
against
stubborn.
teams that play low block.
Yeah.
And they try to pass the ball into the net. No, man, just go hit
Just
the
hit
counter.
it. Yeah.
You got somebody like Dominic Solanke up there. Put
Yeah.
another body. Kulusevski's a big guy.
Right.
It's opportunities for
Kulusevski's
them to
been
switch
playing
it up.
in the midfield.
He's been killing it this season.
Yeah, and he's
really,
been
really
killing
good.
Yeah.
it. He's been
Who
one of
would've
their best
thought?
players.
It's like Joe Linton from striker to
Yeah.
the center mid.
Yeah.
Now Kulusevski's doing a bit of that.
Brendan Johnson has been a great player for
Yeah,
them.
he's been pretty good.
He's a young buck
Mm-hmm.
coming on. He came from Nottingham Forest as well.
Big money too. It was like
Yeah.
50 mil. He came under a lot of scrutiny from
And
Spurs fan, but he's really turned
He's
it
been a
around now.
starter. He's
Mhm.
claimed a spot. He's been a starter week
For
in
sure.
week out for Spurs. And
Yeah.
they getting the best out of him. Honestly, he's been one of their most productive players. I would
Yeah,
say.
we play them in the next round of the Carabao Cup. Actually,
Really,
Mhm.
they love playing against United.
should be an interesting
I
one.
was-
Hopefully,
I
we'll be
was-
more up for it this time.
I think
Yeah.
United loves playing against Spurs. They always have a good game.
I don't know. There's been a few tricky ones. I thought the result that they had this season was the one that got Ten Hag sacked because that was an abysmal performance, an abysmal
Right.
showing.
Yeah.
Another result we got here is Crystal Palace and Wolves, two struggling teams.
Yeah.
Two teams are dealing with injury crisis early on in the season.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the major points why Wolves are having a terrible season.
Yeah.
I think they're going through a lot of injuries. I mean, they don't even have their best striker right
Yeah.
now. What's his
Hwang
name?
Hee-chan?
Hwang Hee-chan.
Yeah.
He's one of their best players. And he's not there. And
Yeah.
they're using who's that striker they bought from Celta Vigo?
Yeah.
The Danish guy,
Yeah.
Larson.
Forgot his name.
I
Yeah,
mean-
Larson.
Larson.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he's been pretty good for them.
all right.
But
But like you're coming in and replacing Raul Jimenez.
Right.
You guys
Right.
remember head injury, Raul Jimenez and
awesome.
Adama Traore,
Right.
killers.
They were awesome.
Killers.
Yeah.
But I think Raul Jimenez is slowly getting back to him.
Slowly at Fulham,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're seeing it a little bit, right?
Right.
Just kind of like that instant.
That head injury he had was a brutal one.
Yeah,
it was
it
bad.
shook
I
him, and
felt
he was
really
out for a
bad.
really, really long time.
I mean, what have they done about Neto? Like as
Neto
well?
left too.
Like how have they replaced
What are
him?
you
Because
talking
he won
about?
them a couple of games. Specifically, he won
Yeah,
them two games against Chelsea.
Now they're playing more of like their fullbacks going up. They're not using wingers.
You guys know Nuri?
Nuri, that's what I was about to
Nuri's
say.
a
They
killer.
have-
He's class.
He's class. They're having him play on the side, and he's
Nice.
creating a lot. And then they're
And-
playing down the middle with Cunha.
Cunha.
He's-
Cunha's
Yeah.
been strong. He's the guy
Cunha's
who's come in
nice.
and replaced him. That's
He's,
what I
really,
was
he's their
forgetting
number
about.
10.
Yeah, he's an amazing football
Yeah,
player.
he is.
Playing
He's
with a
a
struggling team like
a
that.
little hectic. I think he needs to kind of
Reel it in.
sharpen up.
But
just
he
like when
is-
he decides to take shots and stuff.
He's a good player on
Nah,
the
he's a
ball.
good-
He's
yes,
amazing on the
yes,
ball.
he's nasty on
He
the
can
ball.
dribble into tight places. He can shoot in the
He can
box.
shoot.
If this Wolves team ends up going down, I mean, there's a few players that you can pull out of that team. Like
Right.
looking at our clubs, like big
Yeah.
clubs, looking at that team, there's opportunities in Nuri,
Yep.
Matthias Cunha.
Yep.
Lamina's an alright
Lamine.
footballer, I guess. He's okay. He'd be a
Where's
decent
that
backup.
French midfielder they got from the French league?
Can't remember.
He's
Don't they have Andre, the Brazilian? Or is that Fulham that have him?
I think it might
Nah,
be full.
that's Fulham.
I think yeah.
You don't know the French CDM, the little guy they got from the French league. I forgot what was the team he was playing for.
I'm not familiar.
Now you know him. You play FIFA. he's one of those players.
That's
that-
wicked. I'm not sure, to be fair.
But yeah, he's a good shout to move to a big club because I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
He covers up a lot of distance.
ground. He's a ground eater is what he is. Oh, Andre does play for Wolves.
Yeah.
Andre does play for Wolves.
So yeah, they've been going through an injury crisis. So I think that's one of the main reasons why they're battling there, and they've been the worst team in the Premier League.
Not
honestly.
great, yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching that game. I saw Chalaba. He had a chance. On
Oh,
goal
yeah, I
that
was
he
gonna
should have
touch up on that.
scored. That like in the beginning, he had a
Right.
chance where he should have scored.
Yeah.
I honestly I can't remember why exactly, but I didn't watch the rest of the game, and I was happy to see that he did.
Yeah, because
scoring.
both of the Crystal Palace goals came from their center
center
backs,
backs.
from
Yeah.
Margui and Chalaba.
Chelsea center backs.
What is that? That's kind of
Why are you celebrating guys that
Because-
left your football
because,
club
man, it's not
when you
about that.
missed out on the opportunity
It's
to
not about
upgrade your
that.
youth?
They had their part. They had their part to play.
The part to
right?
play for what?
What do you mean? Chalaba was instrumental. He won a Champions League with Chelsea.
I know,
What
but
do you mean?
consecutively you're sacking off these guys.
Guay, yeah, we missed out on Guay.
Consecutively, you're missing out on these guys that you could be building a squad with, throwing money at the wall,
It's fine.
begging for guys like Mudryk and Joao Felix to come off the bench and save
Joao
your day.
Felix has been a weird player for Chelsea.
What are these
Yeah.
signings,
What
bro?
was that signing?
Weird.
That was honestly the worst signing, I think.
Right.
Like the one that made the least sense. But whatever, it's
But-
fine. I'm just shouting out Cobham, all right?
Yeah, go ahead,
We're
shout 'em
everywhere,
out.
all right? We're huge. We're everywhere.
Unperforming for your own team.
From a London
Right.
team to another London team, right?
yeah,
So
it's fine.
it's still London, but
Traitor.
Mark Guay.
well, that's it for the Premier League roundup this weekend. An eventful weekend. Love the results, especially for being a Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
2 points up, 1st place comfortably. I would say that's
Yep.
gonna take some pressure off of us going against Villa, knowing we're 2 points ahead. But
Yeah, and they're not coming in with a great form at least, but
yeah,
it'll be
we're
a game.
playing home too. So
Oh, that plays into your
And
hand.
yeah, I like seeing Villa dropping points. So if they go and drop points, I mean, as a Chelsea fan, if they go and drop points against
Right,
you
it's
as
a
well,
big chance for
that's
you guys
that's
to
great.
go. Yeah.
Yep. Or even if they tie
do
you,
you guys,
both
do you know
drop
who you
points.
play next game?
Arsenal.
Oh, what a
we play
game.
Arsenal.
Yeah, you were a little quiet there in the Arsenal segment, so I hope you guys win next
That's
week.
That's gonna be a
all
good
good.
game.
It should
honestly.
be. Should be.
I'll-
Big
It should
game.
be. I want to go into that game and wanting to win that game.
Right.
It's at Stamford Bridge.
Oh,
it's a
you guys
London
beat them?
derby.
Absolutely
we win.
done.
We need to win this game.
Khalas, it's finished.
Dude, I'm telling you, we win this game. Like we're
That
already gonna
Arsenal
win the
team
title.
cannot even afford a draw against y'all.
No.
If
Yeah.
they draw against y'all, I'm calling
They
it their
have-
season.
we
It's
have
at
to
finished.
Stamford
see this
Bridge.
from
They
them.
better go and try and win a Carabao
3
Cup
weeks.
after talking.
It's
Cole
all
hot.
3
Palmer
weeks.
shows up at Stamford Bridge.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. 3 weeks
Stay
without 3 weeks without a win for Arsenal. That's
been
Let's
rough
make
for
it
them.
4. Let's
Massive
make it
loss.
4, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys have anything to talk about within the Premier League table?
It's tight. I know 10 games in, it's shaping up slowly but surely. But
10 games. It's crazy to think about. It's only been 10 games and we've been
a lot of time.
getting all this content.
Yeah. I love it.
That's what I love about the podcast. You know, now that we can live through it and we have it there and we really feel through what this Premier League season has to tell for us.
And it gives you more to unravel. You get more active with it.
It's drama. I mean, there's more than just the games that happen on the field.
There's a lot.
It's amazing.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Looking forward, especially the Christmas fixtures are gonna be.
It's my favorite time of the year. Yeah. Christmas, literally, just because 3 days, out of the week you're playing football.
We're gonna have a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
And what is the criteria that they're setting?
Right,
because it's inconsistent.
Is it a criteria or is it just like an agenda?
It's not a good look for Real Madrid.
It's not a good look for football.
No.
I don't think.
Not at all.
And that's an event of where you're supposed to show sportsmanship.
Class.
That's kind of the point. Yeah.
Like the people you're competing.
Yeah,
with,
you're saying you're bigger than that aspect of the sport.
Dude, I was keeping up with League One because of a player I like that plays for the Iraqi national team. His name is Ali Al Hamadi.
Right.
So I didn't know anything about that, and then I go and I see him. He's an Iraqi player that grew up in England, playing English football.
Right.
Slowly getting up in the rankings, and he's playing in the League One team. You're scoring like 15 goals. He has 15 goals,
and for good reason. Somebody like you find inspiration through that.